Okay, let's do a quick general markets commentary. So as always, like, share and subscribe to my channel. If you want to join our group, we cover crypto, stocks, group requests, pretty much everything, all the indices, and we have a private Twitter feed as well for those who are day trading the SPY and the SPOOs mainly. It's a monthly subscription, so it's got nothing to do with the calendar month. From the day that you sign, you stay on for exactly a month's time, and of course, you can cancel at any time that you like. If you need any educational material, all the knowledge which I have is basically contained within these videos. Go to my Shopify store, FF40 for 40% off, and PRO for 25% off. The Pro series set of videos, which are more advanced videos if you want them. And there's the Bitcoin crash call, which they continue to take down. Top 10 stocks for 2019. If you want me to have a look at any stock or any coin, that's here. And you can also book a consultation. To get the more advanced videos, you just type in Pro and it should lead you to the more advanced videos, which have had a lot of good feedback recently. And merchandise store, and obviously you can have a look at recommended reading books if you like. Okay, so let's take a look at a few things. So I'm here on cable. To me, cable has found a significant bottom around here. Got a nice little hammer candle, so plenty of excess here. Now it's getting contained and trapped within two trend lines on the daily chart, so it's very interesting to see what's going to happen around these sort of trend lines here. If it breaks this, then obviously we could get a movement lower towards maybe 128, 1285. If it gets contained, bear in mind this red zone is a key monthly support level, right? So it's right in there right now, so I wouldn't be surprised if it maybe does something like this, and then it's either going to break this trend line or break this trend line. And it's interesting because as we approach the end of March, obviously with the Brexit, we could get quite a nice move here. Once again, we've spoken about how to draw trend lines. You start from a significant swing high or a swing low, swing out as far as you can, and then you rest it on the first logical sort of area. So that's how you're meant to draw a trend line, rather than just connecting the first two pivot highs that you see. Dollar index, ultimately this is going to continue to charge higher. I see no reason why this can't go higher. A lot of Wyckoff reaccumulation here, WXY, and it's going to continue to charge higher towards basically multi-year highs, towards 103, 104, 109, potentially even 113. So this is going to happen over the next couple of years, so I see no reason to be shorting dollar, and in fact it's actually a short squeeze because there's a dollar shortage. Euro is having a lot of difficulties. Obviously the euro makes up 57% of the Dixie. Now, like I said, short term it might be a bit of volatility with the Brexit at the end of the month, but ultimately euro, I feel, is going to continue to go lower. As you can see on the right hand side, we're approaching low volume area here, from around 1.1145 all the way down to pretty much 1.08. So this is kind of like a last stand, this 1.1191. Once that gets taken out, we're going to move pretty swiftly towards this massive support zone between 1.05 and 1.08. Ultimately, if the dollar really gets moving here, I think euro could go all the way to parity, and I've been saying that in my videos. All of these general market commentary videos, please do have a look from 5 months ago. I've been calling on this euro decline for quite some time. So yeah, I think euro still continues its trend. Obviously there's a trend line here that we have to be watching for a possible short-term bullish move, but ultimately euro is going to continue its decline. Now let's just cover a few stocks that I've mentioned over the last couple of weeks because people have been asking me. So this is actually one of my top 10 stocks of 2019. Obviously in the stock market we're going through a wave 2 correction. I don't think we're going to retest the lows from Christmas Eve, but as you can see, all of these stocks have made very clearly 5 waves up, right? So any pullback on this stock is going to get bought up. I'll be surprised if it ends up filling this gap, but obviously if it does, it's a very good entry point. That would be a 1, and then obviously it's going to start charging higher. So first target being 22. They have earnings on the 11th of April, which is around That's about 19 trading days away. So they tend to move 15% on earnings. So I wouldn't be surprised if it gets ready for a nice move to break this multi-year trend line, and then we should get quite a swift move up to 22. Now let's cover gold and silver. So gold and silver, as I mentioned to the group on Thursday's video, and as I mentioned on my Twitter feed, basically it was approaching a low volume area, right? So these low volume areas, basically price can either go straight through or it can reject, as I mentioned here, from the low volume areas. For some reason I'm not getting it. Okay, there you go. So silver has basically gone to the 1.618, assuming that that's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ABC all the way down. This is also the 50% fib of the entire move, so we know there's software here which is basically programmed to buy at the 50, and it's hit the low volume node. So ultimately this is a short-term, medium-term low in silver, and this needs to hold for it to continue to be bullish. Like I said, Brexit end of the month, I wouldn't be surprised if silver now makes another charge for this multi-year trend line, and based on what happens at the end of the month, we then get that break in silver and gold. So last stand for silver and gold. But there you go. I did think the breakout was going to happen last week. Obviously there's been a bit of a shakeout here, but ultimately very nice weekly hammer there. So I think this is now going to be quite a nice trade to the upside. If all that is a 1 or an A, that's an A, B, C, B, or a 2, and now we're going to get eventually that movement up. And like I said, in terms of Fibonacci time, this silver move, I've got the 3rd of June, so we got another 3 months here, well 2.5 months for this silver move to get going to the upside. But yeah, significant short-term, medium-term bottom here, so I wouldn't want to see it break this hammer low at 14.97. I wouldn't want to see a movement there, but any flag on the hourly, any flag on the 4-hourly, any sort of 3-wave, any kind of 3-wave pullback is probably going to get bought up here. So watch out for that next week. If we get a sort of a fear-mongering wave 2 or a wave B, any kind of flat, it's going to get bought and continue to move higher. Same with gold. As I mentioned on the group, gold was on its last legs, really. It had to reverse at this point, because if this got taken out, it was going to go to 1260. Now, still we're running this count that this is all a larger 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, potentially to 1400 and higher. And this is the sub-degree of that third wave. So if we just call that, obviously it's not grand super cycle, but just to make it easier. Now, in Elliott wave, wave 3, for those who don't know, also has got 5 waves. So it's 1, 2, 3, probably a 4, and now 5. And that would be the next, let's just make that a smaller degree. So that would be the count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is all part of a larger third wave, which is there. So that's your larger count, that's your lower degree count. I'm hoping that makes sense. Certainly makes sense to me. Now, I don't like my wave 4s going below 50% because they're not wave 4s. Very small percentage ends up retracing more than that. It's hit the 38.2, which is what you would expect. But now gold and silver really need to get a move on here. They can't come back down to retest these lows because of this low volume area. If it breaks 1280, then it's going to retest 1260. Then the entire count on gold and silver need to be thought out again. So very key moment in gold and silver. These lows have to hold 1280 and whatever I said on silver. Once again, much like on silver, any flag pattern, assuming that it is still bullish, it's trending very nicely with the AEMA. That's the only moving average that I use. So any sort of 3-wave pullback, any kind of flag, probably going to get bought up. And before the end of the month on this whole Brexit stuff, we're probably going to get a break of this 1360 level and make multi-year highs before we get that big trap. So good luck if you're buying gold at 1400 and above. You'll be broke soon after that, because gold is going to go all the way back down to here, and that'll be the time for the gold crash video. Okay, stocks we've covered. Oil is going to go to $72. Property, no one cares. Just take that off. No one cares. Actually, I'll just leave it on. So basically, yeah, let's cover the rut. So this is a leading indicator. It's found some support here. Obviously, we are going through a correction in the Dow Jones and the major indices. So that's all a wave one, probably some sort of wave two, and then on. Ultimately, before the end of the year, we're going to be at all-time new highs in all the indices. So this is the fear-mongering wave two. We don't know how shallow or how deep it's going to get. I'm just giving you out the zoomed out look. Obviously, you can follow me on the group if you want more precise targets, but ultimately, all the indices are making wave two corrections. The 50% fib on the rut is around 1465, so I believe there's a few gaps here as well, so we could end up retesting that. DJT formed a nice hammer here. That's probably an A wave, much like everything else. Probably an A, probably a B, probably a C. Maybe we get a retest of 9854 before we go higher. Same with the NDX. Probably going to roll over, maybe end up filling some of these gaps before we charge higher. SPX, they've been very crafty here with the SPX because they've basically they've run it to the lows, declared a bear market, trapped everyone short, trapped everyone long here back up to 20%, declared a bull market, and now they've trapped everyone. So really, these are the kind of games that go on. It's ended up tagging the exact number 2816 to declare a bull market, which is basically 20% off the lows. Obviously, 20% down and 20% back up doesn't get you to all-time new highs because it's 20% of a smaller number. That's just basic maths. So because of that, it's only ended up here, but quite a nice little trap. So yeah, once again, we're just making a wave two. So that's only wave one. That's only wave two. And then obviously we're going to go a lot higher. I believe my long-term count for the S&P is 4293. But yeah, could be optimistic. But I believe 4,000 is possible on the S&P by the time this market, this amazing bull market comes to an end, this longest in human history bull market. With the Dow Jones, obviously we know the long-term count, 43,209, so have a look through my video right here, 43209, and ultimately we're just making a wave two, so nothing else to be said really. Making a wave two. There's a couple of cash gaps here at 24,700. I think there's another gap here. There's a big gap here at 2397 on the SPOOs. I don't think we get that low, but obviously if we do, that's a good buying opportunity. Let's take a look at GE. So GE has ended up coming back down, filling this gap. It's got this trend line here. Ultimately, GE moves higher. Obviously, as the market is having a bit of a correction, you would expect stocks to correct as well. But GE's made 5 clear waves up, so any major pullback on GE is going to get bought. And I still think long term, we go a lot higher and potentially eventually getting to 31 on GE. Let's take a look at XRP, see what it's doing. Still contained within this triangle pattern, so I'm really fascinated to see which way this actually breaks, because I've never seen 4 inside month candles before. So 1, 2, 3, 4. It's still working on it. The highs are 0.36, the lows are 0.29. Obviously it's not confirmed, but it's something you want to be watching every single day because it could just happen at any time. Now on the weekly, it's pretty much a 3rd inside week. So we're on the 4th inside month and we're on the 3rd inside week. I believe the week on Bitcoin closes at 10 p.m. London time on Sundays. I believe so. That would be 7 p.m. Eastern. I believe that's the case. I'm not entirely sure, but I believe that's what occurs. So watch out for this next week. By next week, I mean from Sunday 10 p.m. London time. So it could happen Sunday night, basically. We could get a big break here, either up or down. So watch that. Obviously, if it goes up, then we need Bitcoin to get a move on towards 4,200 and beyond, which is still possible. Okay, Forex we've covered. Stocks we've covered. Other stocks that I like that I can mention without giving too much away. Yeah, let's cover Snap. Snap is something that I've mentioned. Yeah, as you can see, it's just consolidating, waiting for a big push down towards 7 or 8. Might not happen. I think Snap's a very good long-term hold. A lot of people in the group, they were mentioning Snap all the way down here at 5, so they're up 100% on their money. So I think eventually Snap becomes a very good long-term hold. We're basically 2 months into a 2-year raging wave 5 or 5 bull market. So bond yields, let's have a look at the TLT. Yeah, probably going to go higher on bonds to 127, and is it inverting yet? 17 basis points, so probably inversion within 6 months, which is going to be interesting. People get really concerned when things start to invert. Okay, anyway, I'll wrap it up there. Hopefully you find it useful. Follow me on my Twitter feed, follow me on YouTube, like, share and subscribe. Recommended reading books, if you're going to buy anything off Amazon, take a look. And these are my educational materials. So, people ask me for a course, but there's no need to do a course if everything's here. And like I said, if you want to book a 75-minute consultation, everything's there as well. Anyway, I'll wrap it up. Good luck to what you're doing, and I'll chat to you guys soon.